Once more, good morning. So yes, I'm at the moment with this presentation, I'm representing Estonian University of Life Sciences, which was my previous job. And I'm still involved in this project, which is called valorization of sea buckthorn, which is one extremely very good berry. And we're using byproducts of this fruit processing in order to develop the feed supplement for the horses. So I'm representing sort of like the research part. There is company applied the funding for this project. They got the idea. And all of the activities came from them. So we from the university set up all the trials, and we are helping them to achieve the goals, what they needed. So next slide, please. So yes, we started last year, so it's still ongoing project. So it's another year and a half still to go. But just to outline for you, what was the general aim by the company who came up with the idea was that as they were more than 20 years in horticulture business, mainly dealing with the sea buckthorn, this orange berry, which I will talk you later a bit longer. So they were on the sort of like a food market, making juices, jam, other products for human consumption. And as they were already in export markets in the Nordic countries, they saw that the byproducts of sea buckthorn process has used as a horse feed. So, and they did a sort of like a market survey, and they saw that there's the potential for them, not just focusing on the food production, but also looking other areas like feed industry, which we know is extremely big market, or there's big money going on. So they wanted to enter this field as well. And so the sort of like a specific goal was to create or develop the sort of like a feed, dry feed mixture for the horses, which contains the substances from this fruit berry production, mainly leaves, but also the pomace, which is the leftover or byproduct of berry processing. So, and the university supporting all with the lab research, feeding, experiment, analysis, everything, plus sort of like the knowledge which comes from the university. So once more, the enterprise had an idea, and the university as a partner, we helping them to achieve this. And the funding came from this local body, Agriculture Registers and Information Board. They had this action, which is fits to this project. So next slide, please. So this is sort of like a scheme. Hopefully, I have a few minutes to go through this. Basically, we covering this part, which is in this green dotted line, but in order to give you an overview what's going on in this berry business, there's this sea buckthorn tree, and during the harvest, the the branches are cut on the half. So not the whole branch will be cut with the berries, but only half of it. So that, and then the berries with the leaves are collected, deep freezed, and in the next step, when the berries are processed, as the berries are deep freezed, they are sort of placed to the shaker in order to separate the berries from the leaves and branches. So, and as the berry is frozen, it's easy to sort of handle it, because as we know that raw berry is very gentle, and as it has high oil content, it how to say, it saturates very easily when the berry is broken. So it has to be quickly frozen in order to process this. And in the up of the part of the slides, you can see what's sort of like an end product for the human consumption. So, but we are dealing on this green area. So we use dried leaves. We sort of process them, we are grinding and so on, but we also use the leftovers for the berry production. So also the material is dried, which makes it easier to handle. And sort of the end products, in collaboration with the local feed industry, should be feed supplement for the horses. So now the big question is, why the horses? So basically horses are not the farm animals, they are more like a hobby animals. And that means the owners, they are willing to pay a lot in order to keep the animals healthy and their welfare good. But the horses, they have some specific metabolic disorders which are related to the feeding nowadays. So as we know, in original, the horse is sort of a herbivore, mainly consuming the grass, so grassing daily. And if we go briefly to the metabolic system of the horse, they have relatively small stomach, and but they have this large intestine adopted to release the energy from the plant material or grass. Yeah. But nowadays, when we have like training horses, we have like sport horses, we feed them quite a lot of grain. And the purpose for this is that there is a high energy, you know. Think about, this sport horse, which has to exercise, jump over those fences and so on, needs like a boost. Like we know the youngsters, they having this energy drinks. So the grain crop concentrates, this is like energy, but they are shifting the pH or the environment in horse stomach, causing metabolic disorders, or specific name is gastric ulcer. So that means that the pH in the horse stomach goes too low, too often, so it's harming the inner wall of the stomach. So basically, horse will be very sensitive, and if this happening, regularly, it causing huge problems. So the horses, they don't want to, eat anything anymore. They don't want to perform and so on. And doing the literature survey and looking around what's going on in the market, this business partner understood that there could be one solution using the byproducts or leftovers of this horticulture business could it's hard to say, does it completely solves the problem, but at least there is solution, and we trying to test this. Does it work or not? So this is sort of a timeline. So there's some activities that the business partner is responsible. We at the university doing all the lab activities, sample analysis of this plant material, also bioactive compounds in the berries and leaves. Plus, there's going to be collaboration with the local feed industry, which gives to the business partner at the end the ready product, or where they can go or enter to the market. Then we have collaboration with horse stables. So we need to test all the products in different steps of the project. And of course, some other activities, which is sort of like a normal part of the project, like management reports, dissemination, introducing to other businesses, going to the conferences, and so on. Next one, please. Yes, so what we have done so far is we mainly been dealing with this feed material, all the analysis, vitamins, mineral compounds, phenolic compounds, fatty acids. So in order to understand what is the material, what we are dealing with, and how it could be useful solving this problem, raised by the business partner. And perhaps there is some other issues important in this point is, for example, so far for this business partner, the leaves and branches, they were just a waste, like organic waste. And now they're given this to sort of like extra value. And perhaps this in the future, helps also increase the profitability of this company. So at least they see huge potential when they will, eventually have the solution to use also the leaves and branches in the production line. And from the university side, I think it's important in this point that we are bringing together different researchers like feed science, veterinary medicine, horticulture researcher, biochemist, and so on. So it's also the huge collaboration in university as well. And I think the business partner enjoys this because he has so many questions, but he facing the people from the different disciplines, and he got the sort of answers immediately. So that's at least they gave us feedback. So quite many questions, but also the answers by the university. So what are the main challenges we are facing so far? The business partner we are dealing, it's relatively big company in terms of Estonia, but we have quite many fruit farms who are small, and everything is handmade, and for them using the pipe products is sort of, how to say, it's complicated. They need to invest, but as they are too small, they don't have force to do this. So, but hopefully our project also sort of helps them to think about the future perspective. And of course, so far we have too little knowledge about all of this. So it's a new subject for the university, but also to the horticulture in general. So yes, the project is still going on. Perhaps by end of the next year, we can present sort of more detail how successful we were producing the feed supplement, how successful we were with the feeding study with the horse stables and so on. But we are enthusiastic, and hopefully we will reach the goals what we set ourselves. So if you have any questions, so either contact with the project manager Ivar or with me. So there's our emails. So anytime give us note, and we try to give you more information about ongoing activities. Thank you.